Hello, my name is Hans George Campbell. Today I'm out here in the shop. I'm working on one of my many Amiga 500 computers. This one works, except that I'm having a problem with the disk drive. The disk drive itself is not working, so I'm going to remove this disk drive and replace it with a known good one. And while I got the cover off, I figured, well, I'd take a peek inside and make sure everything's okay with this Amiga 500. Anyway, let's get started. Alright, as you can see, this Amiga 500 is in a really nice shape considering how old it is. Yeah, the tops of the keys, some of the keys are shiny, they're well worn, you know. This is one of the Amiga 500s that I will be getting a brand new set of the keycaps, because I think this is a Mitsumi keyboard, and I'm planning on washing and rinsing the case and letting it air dry overnight. I'm going to keep the emblem on here because that's a good way to keep paint from getting on that plastic underneath, because the label, the custom label that I'm going to stick right there, will not stick to paint. It has to be bare plastic, and you can get a metallic version of this that mounts in here perfectly. I'm also going to get a nice label, metallic label to match, that goes right here, you know, that says, I think it says Commodore Amiga 500. It goes right there. So before I paint this case, I'm going to need to take blue masking tape and cut it perfectly about the size of that label and put it right here, so that that part of the plastic does not get paint. It has to be bare plastic in order for those labels to stick, you know, that 3M, the double-sided 3M tape, in order for that to stick really well. It has to be bare plastic, not painted. So that's one of the things I have planned for this Amiga 500. I was thinking about going with pistachio green. And in fact, I'll go get the can of paint and I will be right back. Alright, I brought out 3 colors to let you guys choose what do you think would be the best color that would go with black keycaps. Okay, this right here is pistachio green. Now I know that the khaki and beige colored keys go really well with this color. It goes really well with pistachio green. This would be a good color if you left the keys, went with the original keys, as long as they're not yellow, they're in good shape, In fact, one of my Amiga 2000 that I recently got, I was thinking about painting the front pistachio green, and then leave the rest of it the beige and the khaki color. Just paint the plastic front part of the Amiga 2000, with this pistachio green. I think it will look really good. And this is special paint by Krylon. It bonds to plastic, so no problem with that. I also have like a lighter pastel green. This is called Catalina Mist, and that too is a nice color, with the khaki and the beige. But I'm wondering if the black keycaps would look good with this color, I don't know. You guys tell me what you think. Here's the 2 colors you know, side by side, right here. See? Now, I also had considered a third color. This matte yellow, it's matte wild honey. And this is basically an original Leslie Matchbox color. Okay? And I know the black keycaps will look really good with that color. I know that for a fact. It'd look really good with that color. Yeah. So you guys let me know what you think. Okay, what color paint do you think I should use since I'm getting black keycaps, you know? All right. All right. Let's open up this Amiga 500, shall we? Yeah, open up the Amiga 500. I had to use masking tape to tape this on. For some reason, it didn't pop on securely. I don't know why. Sometimes the covers don't fit like they should, you know. Okay, now for this, you want to use a low torque number 2 screwdriver like this. Do not use a full-size number 2 screwdriver like one of these. Okay, and if you have like a screwdriver kit that's got the handle, has all the tips that go into the handle, I suggest you throw that piece of crap in the garbage. Okay, invest in a good set of screwdrivers. Okay, so, oh, this is not the correct, they're not Phillips, they're going to be, I think they're T10s. If I'm not mistaken, I think they're T10s. Let me see, is this a T10 or a T9? That's T10. Okay, this is the correct screwdriver for taking apart Amiga 500. It's got a Torx 10. Okay, so do not get these screws mixed up. They're shorter in the front than they are in the rear. So, yeah, do not get them mixed up. And do not over tighten these because you got metal screws going into plastic threads. Remember that. And they can be very easily stripped. The plastic threads can be easily stripped. Alright. And then, let me see, we got these in the back to take out. And because I am replacing the disk drives, the whole reason for doing this, for taking this computer apart, you got to put in a known working disk drive. I'm not going to throw this away. I'll probably clean it, recap it, service this disk drive, get it working again, you know, lubricate it. Yeah. Okay. So, I need this screwdriver to remove the 3 bolts that hold on the disk drive. Small number 2 Phillips. Do not use a number 1 Phillips. No. It's got to be a number 2 Phillips. And yes, there is a difference. A number 1 Phillips it's longer and has more of a pointy head. Whereas a number 2 Phillips is shorter and it has more of a flat on the tip. It's not pointy as a number 1. Okay. Okay, so that screws out of there. Disk drive screws. Put this back like that. Okay. That's good enough, Mr. Campbell. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just as long as it's semi-perfect, that's fine. Okay? As long as it's semi-perfect, that's fine. Okay, I'll be back after a real quick coffee break. All right, let's swap out this drive. Yeah, an old Shinnon drive. Damn it. I was hoping I would not have to do that. Shit. I was hoping I wouldn't have to do that. We got that unplugged. Unplug the keyboard. Pull the keyboard out. Definitely need to pull that out. Alrighty. And need to remove this through. Yeah, remove that one. Now I should be able to pull the drive right up like that. Okay. Damn it. I was hoping I wouldn't have to remove this top shield, but I can't be so lucky. Yeah, I couldn't be so lucky on that. Some of these are already broken already. Oh well. Just the way it is. Now this is one of my workhorse Amiga 500s. So I may wind up just removing this shield and leaving it off. I plan on doing a lot of upgrades to this Amiga 500. I might even put a Pi Storm in here and see what that's all about with the new Kickstarter. What is it? 2.1 ROM. Yeah, see what that's all about. Now the screws that hold this part of the shield on, I believe they're also T10. They need to come off. Yeah, they need to come out. These go into the motherboard. I don't want to. I'll put those in a bag and I'll mark like a bag and I'll mark on the outside Amiga 500 motherboard screws. This way I know exactly what they are, because I may need to use these on a different Amiga 500. You know. I think they'll also work as case screws. They're about the same size. So yeah, I'll just put Amiga 500. I know what they're for. Alright, so, still recording? Okay. So I might have to pull an Adrian Digital's basement on this, where I just take this shield and toss it, you know? So if Adrian's watching this video and he's listening, he's probably going to laugh at that. Yeah, he's probably going to laugh at that. That this Amiga 500 will be be part of the RF shield-free zone. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Oh, you son of a bitch. You sons of a bitch. Alrighty, she should come off there now. Yeah, is this a Rev 5? You see it works, or with it on, yeah, it works. It's fully tested. A Rev 5. Okay, the Rev 5. So, yeah, goddamn Rev 5, man. I'm gonna have to replace that with a Rev 6. And when because I got a spare Rev 6 motherboard I can put in here. And I think the next video that I'm going to do, because this video is going to be for this week, the video that I'm thinking about doing for next week is I'm going to show you guys how to do the 2 megabyte chip memory upgrade on a Rev 6 Amiga 500 motherboard. No one has ever shown how to do this, at least not on YouTube. So my video will be a YouTube first. So stay tuned for this exciting content. That should be coming up next week, because I want to put that board into this case after I paint the case. And this one apparently had an ICD upgrade. It had, I think, like an IDE controller, if I remember correctly, that plugged into the 68,000 microprocessor socket, and then a ribbon cable plugged into like a laptop hard drive that was on these standoffs. So I'll most likely carefully remove these standoffs. I don't want them on this board. And then I'll recap this motherboard and put it away, because this is a known working motherboard. There's nothing wrong with it. But for now, I just want to swap out the disk drive. Okay, I want to swap out the disk drive. And the drive that I'm putting in here is also a Shinnon. Just like this one. It's a Shinnon drive, just like this one. Same type of drive. An FB, yeah, FB 354. So, I'm going to need to remove the standoff and the side thing that's on the original drive, because this has to go on the new drive. So I got to remove these standoffs here. Let's see. There you go. Alrighty. Okay, so remove these standoffs because they got to go on the new drive. So yeah, they got to go on the new drive. Okay, so this drive needs to be repaired. I'll put it over here, and I'll put a label on it that it needs to be, you know, repaired. Okay. Okay, this is the same type of drive, the Shinnon FB354, same type of drive, same style eject button. You have to make sure of that because some of these I pulled out of some Amiga 3000 computers. And that's my handwriting. I just put a little piece of masking tape on it, tested it, works, you know, so I know this is a good drive. I've cleaned it up on the inside, blew it out with the air compressor, took cotton swabs, and cleaned out the disk glide paths and everything. So yeah, I know this drive works. So in order to put it in this Amiga 500, I got to put the standoffs on it. Finger tighten only is all you need. That's fine. Yeah, that's fine. Finger tighten only. And then I got to put back on, oh man, should go on. I don't know what the hell's going on with that. Anyway, yeah. I had to put this back on too. That's just the ground, but it also helps hold the drive in place. Before I put that on, I think I'm going to go ahead. It's easier to put this on when the drive is, you know, yeah. Put that on like that. And then put that on like that. Like that. I think these damn things are sharp. Since I'm not putting the cover back on, I'm probably just going to go ahead and break those off. Yeah. Put that cable back on. Alrighty. And then, okay, put this back on. For some reason, it doesn't want to frickin'. Okay. Just snug in this channel. Do not over tighten. You don't want to strip that. Those are fine threads, and you do not want to strip them. Okay. So the next thing I want to do is I need to put the drive screws. These are like 3mm. They're about, I don't know, 3/8 of an inch long. Okay, or yeah, I don't know what that would be in millimeters. I'd have to measure it. But anyway, yeah, that's on there. Let's put the other ones on. Okay, for some reason it's not wanting. Okay, pull this back out like that because this has to be of the shift. Okay, just like that. Okay, just snug it, do not over tighten, because you could actually pull the inside plastic lip all the way through. You'll break that. And I've learned that from experience from dealing with Atari ST disk drives. They're mounted a similar way, and those of you that have Atari ST computers, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, they're mounted a similar way. So, okay. That disk drive, the new drive is on. I know this drive works. I've tested it, and I've cleaned it, lubricated it. I know it works just fine. So, yeah. So, when I come back, I'll break off these tabs, because I'm not going to put the top shield on. And, because I'm thinking about putting a Pi Storm in this, and putting some other stuff in here. So, yeah. And I'm also going to put the new Kickstart ROM in. So, yeah, was it 3.2.1 or something like that? That's what they're up to right now. So, yeah, when I come back, I'll close up this computer. Okay, I broke off the metal tabs off camera. There was, I believe, one there, there, and there, 4 of them. I broke those off because I don't plan on putting the top cover on. But I still need to screw on the motherboard. That still needs to happen. So let's go ahead and do that. The motherboard's, oh, wrong screw. I need to get a T10 driver, Mr. Campbell. A T10. Alright. Just like that, boys and ghouls. That's right. Yeah, I haven't recapped this motherboard yet. But I will. I'll recap it. Yep, I'll recap it. No worries. I'll recap it. And when I recap it, I'll also remove these. I'll remove those. So, yeah. Okay, so the drive's in there. I got all that taken care of. Let me seat the chips while I got this thing open. You know, make sure they're seated. I think there's one underneath here too. Seat that. So, yeah. Go ahead and plug in the keyboard. Yeah, plug that keyboard in. Plug it in. Plug it in. Oh, hell, Hans, don't start that crap again, okay? Don't start that again. Oh, my God. Is this thing keyed? I'm not sure. It should have been keyed, because what if somebody plugged that in the wrong way? I always thought that was keyed. This keyboard connector right here? I always thought that was keyed. Guess not. Oh my God, man. It's not keyed. It's not keyed, man. Plug that shit in. Plug it in. Plug it in. Okay, make sure that's below there. Make sure that bitch is plugged in. Okay, now we're ready to put the top back on. Oh my God, man. Is that in there? I don't want it catching on anything. Look. I've always liked the Amiga 500. It's my second favorite Amiga model. I actually like it more than the Amiga 1200. Yes, you heard that right. I have 10 Amiga 500 computers. 3 of them mint in their original boxes. I will keep those all original. No paint, no nothing, all original. The 3 that I have in the original box. I even have a rare one. The first issue, Amiga 500, came out in 1987 in this original box that has the Space Invaders mechanical keyboard. I mean, that thing is really rare. And I've got one of those too. Okay, so I don't need this screwdriver because these are all T10s that are going back in. So, what the fuck? Okay. Oh, okay, I see what's going on. I see what's going on, Mr. Campbell. Do it right. Snug only. You have metal going into plastic threads, so snug only. As soon as the screw stops, you stop. You go backwards on the screwdriver first, to allow the screw to seat itself into those plastic threads. That's why you see me always go backwards first. I'm not putting any pressure on the screw head at all. I'm just barely holding up the screwdriver. I'm allowing the weight of the screwdriver to, you know, alright. And then there's the 3 that go on the back, like that. Okay. Okay. Looking good. Yeah, the only thing that was wrong with this one was the disk drive. It didn't work. So I replaced it with a known working disk drive. And so this computer should work fine now. It should be just fine. Okay, this is an Amiga 500 screw. I'll put it over here so I won't get that mixed up with the other type of screws. Okay, eventually I'm going to get a cover that's going to pop on this case better. I'll have to tape it. It'll actually fit better, you know. But this also has the original, you know, the original side piece here. Those are usually missing. But there it is, that another Amiga 500 repaired and ready for action. And I consider this computer the Ferrari of the Amiga computers. Oh yeah. I think this computer blows the doors off, you know, the Amiga 1200. In design, in quality, the way it looks. I mean, there must be a very good reason why the Amiga 500 is the #1 selling, most popular Amiga model. And most of these the Amiga 500s were sold right here in the United States. That's right. Make no mistake, boys and ghouls. Commodore is an American company, not a European one. And the Amiga is an American computer, not a European one. Most Amiga computers were sold right here in the United States. And I know from personal experience because I was there. I sold a lot of them, especially here in the Pacific Northwest. Here in the Pacific Northwest, during those, you know, during the 80s and 90s, this was not only one of the Commodore capitals of the world. We still have like 2 or 3 Commodore users groups in this area even today. Okay, but this was also at one time one of the Amiga capitals of the world, right here in the Pacific Northwest. Portland, Oregon, Beaverton, Oregon, Vancouver, Washington, Seattle. Oh yeah, the Amiga was very popular in this area. In fact, the Amiga was was so popular here in the United States that Commodore could not keep up with the orders, could not keep up with the demand. The Amiga was so popular that when I managed the software pipeline in Clackamas, Oregon, I was restricted. All the stores were restricted to a maximum of 10 Amiga computers per month. We could not get any more than 10 of them per month from Commodore, no matter how many of them we could sell. I remember having arguments on the phone, I mean, talking to Commodore on the phone in Pennsylvania, calling him on the phone and saying, look, I could sell every Amiga computer you send to me, even if it's like a few thousand of them. I'll have them sold each month. They'll be gone. Why are you restricting the stores to only 10 Amiga computers per month? I mean, come on, what the hell? He says, I know, Mr. Campbell, that's the way it is. It's not just your store. We had to restrict all the stores to only 10 Amiga computers per month. And we're still having a hard time keeping up with the demand. We did not count on the Amiga computer being so popular. And then I respond to that, well, it is. So you people need to get busy and start, producing more of these Amiga computers a lot faster, because I can sell as many of them as you ship to my store. Oh yeah. But anyway, I'm planning on doing an episode here in the Hans Campbell Show where I tell the true story about the Amiga sales here in the United States and the popularity of the Amiga computer here in the United States, because I'm getting sick and tired of hearing these two things from long-winded Brits and Aussies that don't know what the hell they're talking about, but they love hearing the sound of their own voice. Well, Americans don't deserve to have an Amiga computer because you didn't buy enough of them. Yeah, you're wrong and you're a dumbass. Well, the Amiga computer is a European computer. Again, you're wrong and you're a dumbass for saying something like that. So I'm going to set the record straight in a near future video. I'm going to be sitting right here behind my desk over here out in the shop, and I'm going to tell you the true story. I'm going to set the record straight as to just how popular the Amiga was here in the United States, and where Commodore fucked up and lost the American market. I'm going to tell the true story. I'm going to tell the facts. I'm going to tell it like it is. And maybe after I'm done, this will shut up all these stupid long-winded Brits and Aussie fucks that don't know what the hell they're talking about when it comes to the Amiga computer and, sales and popularity here in the United States. Because I know the truth. I was there. Okay? So stay tuned for that exciting video. Oh yeah, that's going to be very exciting. Probably going to piss off a lot of Brits and Aussie fucks, but oh well. Tired of hearing their stupid mouth. Especially those that don't know what the hell they're talking about. Okay? Stay tuned for that video. Anyway, that's it for this video. I was working on this Amiga 500 tonight. I knew I had to replace the drive. And I thought, well, why don't I hook up the camera, turn it on, and you guys can watch me do this. You might enjoy it. You might not. Who knows? Anything Amiga or Commodore related, I know. At least some of you are going to enjoy the video. So, yeah. So I decided to do that. Anyway, my name is Hans George Campbell. Sorry for the rant. Sometimes I get on my soapbox and I rant. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. But anyway, I didn't mean to offend anyone. I like the British people, I like the Australians. They're great people. But yeah, some of you are a bit long-winded, and you do like hearing the sound of your own voice. And you have to admit that. You do. Okay? I didn't mean any insult by saying that. I'm just stating a fact. Okay? So I hope I didn't hurt your feelings or anything like that. But anyway, my name's Hans George Campbell. And until next time.